Hello, this is Matt Sorensen with Midland GIS Solutions. This demonstration will be focusing on how to edit a zoning layer within a county's GIS website. So the first thing that you will want to do is turn on your layers list. So if you just click on the layer list tab up on top, and over on the upper left hand corner you're going to see edit zoning layer. So we're going to want to click and turn that layer on, and then on top of that you can actually click on the legend for the edit zoning layer right here. If you click that, that's going to give us the different zoning classifications. So in this example we have countywide, we've created a zoning layer that you can edit. So everything at this point in time, or majority of the county, as you can see, is all A1 or agricultural. So you're going to want to identify, which property or what parcel that you're going to want to change the zoning classification for. So, and there's different ways to do that. If you click on the search tab up here, you can search by parcel ID number, owner name, address. You can even do section, township, and range. So, but in this demonstration, I'm just going to randomly zoom into just any parcel here. So let's go to this one right here. Okay, so we're zoomed into this parcel. So the quickest and easiest thing is just to be taking an existing zone parcel and changing that classification to something different. So how to do that, your first thing you're going to want to do is click on the identify button up here, and then just simply drag a box inside of that parcel and let go. And over here on the left under your identify results window, you're going to see the edit zoning layer there. So if we click on that, you're going to see where it highlights and selects that zone within that property. And then we can click on the feature actions button right here. Click that. It gives you a little drop down where then the next thing you're going to do is click edit feature. So now when I do that, it's going to give us the ability to change the zone classification. So if we just click on this drop down, you're going to have your different classifications you can select from. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and change this to rural residential. Once I do that, you're going to want to click save, and it changes that zone from A1 to the rural residential, and you're done. So let me go back and change that back to A1, save. Okay. Now the next example will be for if it's a split zone. So let's go find a property. Let's go to this one right here. Okay, so in this case, let's say we're going to change this to like commercial, and then leave the rest of it in agriculture. So if you have an idea of the distance, you can kind of use the measure tool, which is under the analysis tab up here, and we can just get a quick reference of distance. So let's say it's so many 600 feet west of the property corner here, and then straight down to the bottom of the parcel. So if I want to go ahead and just get an just a quick idea of where 600 feet is, I can just got distance there. There we go. So you just draw your distance, your measure line, and I just kind of have to get it to a point where it's close to that 600 feet. And what I'm doing, if I stop moving my mouse, it'll pop up on screen and tell you the distance. So there's 600 feet. So I'm going to go ahead and click there and just kind of double click outside here, just to kind of give myself a guide of where I want to cut that zone. So let me zoom out just a little bit so I can see the southern part of that parcel. And if you want, you can go ahead and do a distance down here as well. and go ahead and give yourself another point at 600 feet. Here we go. That's close enough. There we go. Perfect. Double click on the, and so all I'm doing here is just using the measure distance tool to give myself a couple of points that I can cut that parcel at, or cut the zone classification. All right, so now we've got those as reference lines. Now I want to go back to the navigation, identify. So I want to identify that parcel or that zone designation within that parcel. There's my edit zoning layer under identify results. Go ahead and pick that. And then I'm going to do click on my feature actions button right here. It gives me my drop down, and that'll give you our option to cut feature. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And it gives you a little guide up here. It says draw cut line for cutting the polygon. So click to start drawing and then double click to stop. So you can see here where I've got my point. And I'm going to start the cut right there, that 600 feet. Zoom out just a little bit so I can get down to that other point. So right about there, and then I want to double click. And now what it's done is it's cut this zone designation within that parcel into two separate polygons. Now at this point, you can see over here I have a cut pick list, and if I just hover, I'm not clicking on that, but if I just hover over the top, so we're going to want to leave this one as A1 agriculture, so we don't want to mess with that one. This is the one we want to change. So I click on that. Okay, there we go. I guess I'm going to leave that. Just click OK. There we go. So now it's basically I guess what that was asking is to set the which master polygon you wanted to keep the attributes to, but they were the same thing, so it really didn't matter at this point. They're both have been cut, and they're both still A1 agriculture. So now I'm back into the edit zoning. So now I'm going to hover over and look at which one I want to change. I'm going to leave that one the same. This is the one we want to edit. So I'm going to click that and go to my panel actions menu. Gives me my drop down. I can edit feature. And then we want to change that one to commercial. And click save. And there we go. So in this example here, I went ahead and cut an existing zone polygon. You don't necessarily have to measure, but if you want a guide of about the distance, if you have a description of how many feet, on the eastern side of that parcel or what have you, that you want to go ahead and cut it, I would recommend using the measure tool, and then you have at least a point of a guide point to go ahead and click to cut it at that distance. And then, of course, if you want to get rid of those measurements, you just go back to analysis, click on clear, and you can clear those measurement markups off. Here we go. Click OK. And that is it. So if we zoom out here, now we can see that we've got those two zone classifications. And that concludes this demonstration. Thank you.